Hello everybody, this is Flashback Productions, and today I'll be showing off my own custom Punishing One that I made. Now, if you don't know what the Punishing One is, it is Dengar's bounty hunting ship, and so yeah, I'll be showing this off. I tried to make it in a scale similar to the 2020 Boba Fett Slave 1, where you could fit a minifigure comfortably in it, but it's a little bit downscaled than what it would actually be, and it turned out pretty well, I think. Now, in order to put Dengar in the cockpit, first we'll have to take off his blaster. Then we slide it into this clip on the underside, which is not the most ideal, but I do prefer that LEGO would toss in an ugly weapon holder versus no weapon holder at all, and just give us the option to leave it out, but it still gets the job done. Then you want to pull back up the cockpit piece, and Dengar just slides right in, and it's a perfect little fit. Now, the cockpit piece is attached with the hinges, with the clicks. Unfortunately, I didn't have any of those pieces, so the cockpit does come off kind of easily, but ideally it would be the clicking hinges versus the swiveling hinges, but that's what it looks like when he's in there. And inside the cockpit, you can see he's got a little pistol to the side and a monitor on that side, and then a targeting monitor in front of him. Moving back to this part of the body of the ship, you can see the smooth part with a bit of the engines sticking through and some dark gray and dark red pieces tossed in. Now, I could say that I tossed that in for variety, but I would be lying, as in fact I was out of regular red and regular gray of these pieces. So, but the product, it looks good, so I'm happy with how it turned out. You can see a little exhaust vent here and some detailing here and there. And then coming around back, you can see the engines. I would have liked to also put in some blue exhaust in these ones, but couldn't quite figure out how to do it. But the bottom one does have exhaust, and you can see the little grills back there. Over on this side, you see the exhaust mirroring the one over here, as well as some more detailing, and then a swiveling gun. It just is on one of those swivel pieces. Coming around front, you'll see this little grill piece, which is also present on this side, as well as the little difference between the two parts of the ship. This front round part, it was kind of tricky. I had to redesign it to make sure it was stable enough, and it still is a bit loose here and there, but I tried to use different headlights and bracket pieces to give it the built on the side, the snot look, with a few studs sticking out on top, and I think it turned out pretty well. It's decently stable. You got to be careful if you pick it up around this part, so that's why I'll pick it up by the body, which is more stable. And then around front, you can see the cylinder turret, as well as how this goes around it, and then there's this on that side. Between the two sections, you can see the lights. Now, if you look it up, the actual ship, you'll see about 50% with blue lights, 50% with orange lights. I opted in for the orange design, so I like that look a little better, but you can see where it tapers off, as well as these. Now, when I started designing this thing, I knew that I didn't want to be hypocritical, and the things that annoy me the most in ships is when they include a lack of landing gear that can be opened and closed, especially if it would have been super easy to toss in, such as the Inquisitor Scythe, and as well as weapon storage. So I already showed off the weapon storage, and here's the landing gear. All you have to do is literally just pull it up. It's a very simple design, and all these just come up, slide up like this. Just very simple Technic functions, and it just rests right on top of it. It can be a little bit difficult to pull these out, and then once you do that, you can just flip it over, and it just rests right on top of the gear. Now, unfortunately, the gear's not perfect, as they all open up the same way, so if you give it just a little push from the front, that can happen. They'll just all fold in on themselves, but it's better than having no landing gear whatsoever, in my opinion. And the last thing I want to show off on the inner side is just the little loading ramp. I included a little 2x2 tile upside down right here so you can get a good leverage on it, and then it just pops down. And if you look underneath, you can see it's just under the cockpit, so Dengar won't be sliding through, but if you take him out, you can just see right through the ship, just like that. Now, the only thing I wish I could have found a way to include would have been a cargo storage area, even if it was just small, just so I could store his blaster not on the bottom, as well as maybe one of those 2x5 carbonite pieces. That would have been nice, but unfortunately I couldn't find a way to integrate it. But I think that the ship came out pretty good, and I know it's an obscure one, but I was very proud of how it turned out.